soils have over the centuries, over the years, lost their fertility through continuous cropping, removing the nutrients without little addition. For every crop of maize that you harvest, a ton of maize, you're removing somewhere around 60 kilograms to the hectare of nitrogen, about 15 to 20 kilograms of phosphorus. And unless you replenish that with nutrients coming from the fertilizer bag or some from the manure, your soil becomes less productive. Over time, your yield goes down, and with less yields, we are setting ourselves for food insecurity. We are also setting up ourselves for a case where we have very little surpluses that can go to the markets. And that means generating conditions for low incomes and poverty. Now, conservation agriculture is a practice where you minimize the tillage of that soil. Because once you open the soil, every time the season begins, you cultivate hard that soil and you expose it to the sun. You are burning a lot of your organic matter. You are breaking down the structure. So the idea is you till what you need. Open those strips or pockets that are essential to put the seed and fertilizer, and do not till the rest. The second part of it is where you, as much as possible, cover the soil with mulch, with organic residues, or crops that are green for a long period of time, so that you minimize the exposure of that soil to the sun, to the air, and conserve the water that it has, because the soil has water. The third rule is you rotate legumes with cereals. This is a legume, soybean. Behind me here is the maize, is a cereal, and you practice rotations for various benefits. And so those are the three key principles. And if you all bring in now good agronomic practices like using good seed, fertilizer, organic manure, minimize the tillage, then you're bound to have a very good management system for your soil that is much more sustainable than continuous tillage.
We're implementing a project called Conservation Agriculture for Food Security and Profitability in Machakos and Laikipia County, funded by AGRA.
The problems that we encounter here in Machakos County mainly is low soil fertility. We are now coming up with conservation agriculture to lower the cost of production, so that as they do production, they do it at minimal levels of cost.
As a county, we are promoting conservation agriculture. That is now the catchword, because since we got the problem of the climate change, there has been a lot of problems with the rainfall. So you find that rainfall is not enough to support that crop up to maturity. So what happens, we encourage farmers to do water harvesting and also maybe to practice that conservation agriculture, so that that water which is little is conserved to maintain that crop to the end.
The project intends to improve the productivity of mainly the food crops, and also to link the farmers to markets for the improved productivity, as well as enable the farmers get the various cover crop options that they can use in the practice of conservation agriculture. The approach that we are using is through groups, where these groups are mobilized, or they were mobilized and set up demonstration plots. So we targeted to have 200 demonstrations, farmer-led demonstration plots, and 30 research-led trial plots. The research-led trial plots are what we are referring to as mother demos. The farmer-managed or farmer-led demos are what we are calling baby trials.
Siku ile tuliingia hapa, hatukuwa tunajua maana ya kulima. Lakini tukakakaa, kiangazi kaingia sana. Mimi nikapelekwa na watu wa agriculture kwa education tour. Nikaenda Kitui, nikaona vile Hii pigeon peas inakuwa na hakuna mchanga, ni sand. Nikashindwa, ikiwa kwetu kuko na mchanga mzuri, kwa nini mimi sijaribu? Nikajaribu kwa kasehemu kidogo, nikaendeleza, nikaona ni kazi mzuri, napata chakula ya kukula. Saa hiyo nilikuwa na watoto shule. Nikauza, tena hata sikupeleka kwa soko, wanakujia tu hapa.
Ni kumana gihaule ndere nimete migunda ile umwasiye na leo gutarisiye na tofauti ile leho ni liandirona le ndirona mweno ucio wasiye wena magetha maigaige kuri mweno ucio itarimete na siye kuria nimete ugo itari na siye ndi munogu muno na gaita mbeca nyingi no kuria nimete na siye ndikariba kanini ona ni magakarucine ngarekia.
Katika uhusiano wetu na CA tulianza wakati tukuja tukaenda some seminars, na katika hizo seminar tulipelekwa na hawa maafisa wa agriculture wakiwa wameshirikiana kuhusu CA na hii agra, na tukasoma. Kuna zile machines yenye tumeanza kutengeneza brand, tukiwa tunatengeneza hii shopa hii ya majani na hii ya kukogoa mahindi shells, na pia ile storing tank ya kuweka mahindi wakati mtu amefuna. Na hapo ndipo watu hawa wasi walikuja wakatuambia hapana, hata kuna kazi nyingine tunaweza fanya na tufaidike. Na posta tukaanza kufanya kazi ya kutegeza hii kama hii sharuida.
I use a reaper in making the area that we are going to put the seeds. When the weeds start growing, I have a weed scraper. If I don't get the chemical for spraying the weed, that one is helping me very much when the seed has started sprouting.
Normally we train the farmers how to use the herbicides, how to plant, and how to use the chemicals. After training them, we set demos together with the ACT so that the farmers can see what we have done. From there, we sell the products to the farmers from the shop, starting with the seeds and the herbicides plus the pest control. It has not been easy. The first time, it was not easy for us to convince the farmers to use the herbicides to control weeds. So the turn-up was very slow, but as time passed by, it has really increased.
Zile changamoto napata kupitia hii hifadhi wakati wa kiangazi, ile cover crop usipo spray sana inapendwa sana na thrips. Kwa hivyo pest control sasa ndio shida nyingine yenye ninapata. Ile nyingine yenye ninapata ni wakati wa kufuna. Saa zingine unapata kuna changamoto, unaweza shtukia baba anataka hivi, anataka utoe ile maganda yote na wewe pia utaki itoke. Kwa hivyo pia hiyo tunapata ni changamoto kubwa sana. Na kupitia kwa hao wakulima wengine wanasema ndio ni nzuri, lakini pia inawapea changamoto. Wanaona hii kulima wasipolima ile kawaida ya kacha, ile kuondoa ile lazima ulime ndio upate. Ndio sasa inatakikana wafunze kabisa ndio waelewe hii kilimo hifadhi ni nini.
As persons with disabilities, we can say that it is less stressing, because sometimes you don't have to dig and disturb the soil. You know, using a lot of energy, yet we don't have that energy. So that kind of taking care of the soil, not disturbing the soil, it's quite to our side. We can say it's a plus. We are really benefiting. We are not straining much to do it, and also the output, what we get. It is one farm having so many things at the same time.
Nimechukua conservation agriculture kama my best friend, kwa sababu bereni nilikuwa natumia majembe kushiba nini nilikuwa shamba inanishida. Lakini tangu nichukue conservation agriculture, kazi imekuwa rahisi, ni manageable na inakuwa na mazao.
We used just to stay in the streets and beg, but then now we are engaged This kind of farming has really put us on track. 5 years from now, I can see the group going beyond where we are. I can see our pupils in school. I can see the level of begging going down. I can see sustainable kind of life. And I can see even practicing other modern methods of farming.
Ile pesa nilikuwa natumia sana kununua chakula, kwa sasa hii naenda kwa project zingine kama kusomesha watoto wangu. Wako katika colleges. Nimeng'ang'ana pia, nikachukua loan ya stima nikijua niko na pesa mahali nitatoa, nikalipia, nimemaliza. Kwa hivyo sasa naona imenipeleka mbali.
Ndienda gũcokeria organization ino ya gatho na ACT nĩ tondu wĩra ũrĩa marutĩte nĩ mũnene mũno wa gũtũthomithia na gũtũĩkĩra nginya practical, na nĩ tuonete maciaro ma wĩra wao, na no tũrie magathiĩ na mbere na gũthomithia nginya ona arĩa matarĩ marakinyĩrĩrwo nĩ wega ũcio wa gĩthomo kĩu kĩa conservation agriculture. Nĩ tondu harĩ conservation agriculture harĩ na maciaro na nginya ona thĩna wa irio nĩ ũkũnyihanyiha.